Alright guys, we gotta talk about State of the Union, we gotta talk about acquittal, we gotta talk about Mitt Romney, who's literally Judas at this point in time, although no one's really surprised about that one. And also Nancy Pelosi pre-ripping stuff because it was theatrical. So let's just jump straight into it. Let's talk about the acquittal process. Some of you, if you haven't heard now, you need to get out from under your rock. Trump has been acquitted on both counts. And it wasn't just some sort of minimal sort of just scraping the line either. They were about 20 votes short of impeachment. Right? They needed around, I think it was around 66 or something. They needed 66 votes. There's 100 seats. They needed 2/3, so that's 66, yeah. They got 46. They were literally 20 votes short. And it was on both those too. There was no real difference between them. They're both overwhelming majority of people supported the president and not this witch hunt, as we like to call it. So obviously Senate acquits Trump on abuse of powers and obstruction of Congress charges. Senate overwhelmingly acquitted President Trump on both articles of impeachment against him on Wednesday after follow brief trial and historic rejection of the Democrats' claim the president's Ukraine dealings, blah, 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 blah. Look, no one is really surprised by this, right? No one's really surprised. Well, maybe the Democrats are, but nobody who has any sort of idea of the reality out there no one thought Trump was going to get impeached. Okay, he owns the Senate, he controls the Senate, and this is why it was really, really important when they came up to the midterms that the Democrats had to win. This is why they had to win this Senate seats. And luckily they didn't, because otherwise it would be a very, very different story. Now, by final vote of 52-48 against the conviction and abuse of power, and 53-47 against the conviction of obstructive justice charges. So like I say, they were 18, 19 votes short, nowhere near the mark to get acquitted. To get it impeached, and no one's really shocked. Now, obviously, at the end of the day, we do have Judas right here by the name of Mitt Romney. And, well, how did Mitt Romney decide whether he was going to stab the president in the back or not? Two heads, coin flip maybe? I don't know. Mitt Romney didn't want to go through with it. It has been the most difficult decision I've ever had to make in my life, he told yesterday afternoon in his Senate office. Roughly 24 hours later, Romney would deliver a speech announcing he was voting to convict the president on the first article of impeachment, which is abuse of power. So it doesn't really go into much detail about how he decided, right? At the end of the day, he seems like he's struggling with it. So why would he go through and vote? Why would he stab the president in the back? Well, obviously, Trump is not happy with this fact. We'll get to the reason why in a sec. But Trump attacked failed presidential candidate Romney after impeachment vote. Romney, who ran for president in 2012, voted to convict the president of 2 articles of impeachment. Now, that's actually not true. Politico, he only voted on one of them, not both. But anyway. President Donald Trump lashed out early Tuesday morning, Senator Mitt Romney over his convict president on impeachment trial, ridiculing the Utah Republican once again for his defeat in the 2012 presidential election. And I believe he also ran in 2016 as well. Didn't he go for the Republicans? I'm not quite sure. I think there was something about him going up against Trump. But anyway. So, but at the end of the day, yeah, look, Mitt Romney's he's a war hawk, right? He's deep state. He's a swampy. He's connected to this whole Burisma Holdings and Joe Biden and to be honest, it'd probably be better if Mitt Romney decided to retire. At the end of the day, he's a swamp creature, right? I don't like the guy. I have no bones about it. I just think he's a swampy. He's a deep state. And to sort of back this up, we have former Mitt Romney's advisor sits on the Burisma Board. Oh, right. Now we might be starting to get an idea of why he voted to impeach Trump. You know, the Trump who's currently trying to get them to investigate Burisma Holdings and the whole Joe Biden, Hunter Biden saga. Well, apparently former Mitt Romney's advisor sat on the board of Burisma. Yeah, that swamp is starting to look a little Mitt Romney's colour right about now, isn't it? Joseph Coffer Black, a national security advisor for the 2012 Mitt Romney campaign, sits on the board of the directors of Burisma Holdings, the Ukraine oil and gas giant that paid at times more than $83,000 per month to Hunter Biden and former Vice President Joe Biden's youngest son. Remember that Burisma company, that Trump wants to Ukraine to investigate? Yeah, Mitt Romney's connected to it. Oh, now we're starting to get an idea of why he might have voted for it. Do you think someone might have had dirt on him? I don't know. Who knows, right? But at the end of the day, look, to be honest, we might have some good news that comes out of this, because Laura Ingraham calls on Mitt Romney to resign and says she may consider opposing him in 4.5 years. Unfortunately, we got 4.5 years to put up with Mitt Romney. Oh boy. So, Laura Ingraham took aim at House Speaker Nancy Pelosi for her demeaning during the State of the Union address and eventually tearing up President's speech. We'll get to that in a sec. He concluded before she focused on Utah Senator Mitt Romney, who was the only Republican to vote guilty along with the Democrats in the Senate impeachment trial. See former headline here. Look, at the end of the day, Laura Ingraham running for Senate, I can get behind that. About time we had a babe in the Senate. Last night, Pelosi showed the world who she really is, Ingraham said on the Ingraham Angle Wednesday. A woman left with a little ease, but her own sourpuss facial expression. Ingraham then called on Romney, whatever his name is. I'm forgetting it. He's not that important. The ultimate selfish, pretending, self-centered politician. If he were up for re-election this year, people of Utah would have their own payback against him because they were defrauded by Romney, whatever his name is. For when he had to choose, he chose Schumer and Kamala Harris over the common sense and conservatism. Ingraham said, if you're one of Romney's constituents in the Utah, you're out of luck, you're out of business, in need of regulation, re-examined. Don't bother calling his office, he has no power anymore. So she brought up his previous presidential run, saying, we thought you'd be better for America, and the way you repay millions of people, the millions who did vote for you in 2012, is to throw in with the very people who don't share our goals, who hate us, and by the way, who still hate you. Now, that's the important thing at the end of this, right? At the moment, they're going through and they're making out Mitt Romney as some sort of saint. You know, Saint Mitt Romney, he has special powers. You know, he activated his over 9,000 superpower sort of thing, right? Good old 4chan meme. But at the end of the day, the fact is that the Democrats are going to turn on him. Well, if Mitt Romney thinks he's got allies in the Democratic Party, they're using you. They will kick you to the curb soon as you go against them. At the moment, you're convenient because you push a narrative. Once that's done, see you later. Hasta la vista. Don't come back. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord splits you. And they'll be back to hating on him again, like they did in 2012. Does anybody remember the presidential campaign when he ran? Holy dooly, did they lay into him. So, yeah. Probably should have, I don't know, stuck to your guns, stuck to your supporters. Look, I'm not saying vote for Trump just because it's Trump, right? At the end of the day, around 70% of Utah, from what I understand, supported President Trump. overwhelming majority of people, and you've literally just give them the bird. So you deserve what you get, because chances are you're not going to win again. And this will be brought up when you run in 4.5 years, or when you rerun in 4.5 years. But anyway. And hopefully, look, Laura Ingraham, I could support that. She's a babe. That'll be cool. So yeah, kind of like that idea. But hey, it's not all bad news, right? It's all not doom and gloom. Just kidding. The first part of this was actually great news. Trump being unexonerated. Trump did nothing wrong. Hashtag. Now, obviously, at the end of the day, we've got a little bit of a controversy about the State of the Union. Nancy Pelosi pre-rips pages of President Trump's State of the Union speech. Well, this would be a little bit problematic, isn't it? Let's see what sort of evidence they've got to back
Almost
this up.
every American family knows the pain when a loved one is diagnosed with a serious illness. Here tonight is a special man.
Oh my! Did anybody see that? Oh, let's rewind that. Hey,
Illness, serious
here
illness.
she is.
When a loved one is diagnosed with a serious illness. Here tonight is a special...
And pre-ripping them. I wonder why she want to pre-rip the paper. I suppose there'd be nothing more embarrassing than her trying to make that great big sign of gesture of ripping it up and then failing to be able to rip the page, right? But at the end of the day, it just goes to show her with this whole ripping things up was a theatrical show. It was showmanship. That's all it was. It was, look at me, I can go through and I can do this. There's, you know, it wasn't the fact that she was upset with Trump's speech. He's still going at this point. What? She skimmed ahead, read the whole speech, didn't like it, then decided to rip it up? Of course not. She's way too busy for that. She probably wouldn't give two shits. But her sitting there, ripping the pages beforehand, just goes to show. It's a theatrical show. That's all it was. It's a show to the progressives and the Democratic Party. I'm with you. I have Trump derangement syndrome too. Yay! But that's what it was. Let's
man, beloved by millions of Americans.
So, yeah, that happened apparently. Nancy Pelosi pre-ripped pages of Trump's State of the Union speech video shows House Speaker Nancy Pelosi apparently made tiny tears into her copy of President Trump's State of the Union address, so her speech-ripping moment could go off without a hitch. Because nothing says theatrical like pre-planning, right? As Trump introduced cancer-stricken radio host Rush Limbaugh, by the way, good, hope he survives, I hope he does well, who received the Medal of Freedom during the speech, Pelosi could be seen grabbing pages off the table. Video shows her making what seems to be tear motions. And then placing the pages back on the table. Photos of the sheets of paper show them face down on the table with small slits. Wow. They're going to show us that? No? Maybe it's on this one. Yeah, you can't really see it. I think you can see there. That one over on... you can't see my mouse. But that one over on the far left, halfway down the page, there looks like there may be a sort of a lap, like a bump. So that could be the tear there. But yeah. But it just goes to show. It's all theatrical. That's all it is. It's just theatrics. But who's really surprised by this stage? Because let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section below. What are your thoughts on the State of the Union address? Personally, I loved it. I thought it was great. Maybe you want to become American. I also love the fact that Trump was acquitted because I really don't think he'd done anything wrong. If he had, I would have said so. I am nonpartisan in this debate. As much as people might think I'm on the Trump train, I will criticize the president if he does something wrong. See the missile attack in Syria. But yeah, I don't think he really did anything wrong with this. And at the end of the day, this whole Nancy Pelosi pre-ripping pages, that's just funny to me. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. If this video has been... Oh, hang on. We might actually have it. Hang on, we might actually have... Wait, hold it. Don't click that button just yet.
Almost every American family knows.
Have we got photos? Hang on. That's the same thing. Okay, no, you can click the button, alright. Now, apart from that, guys, have a great night. Enjoy yourselves. I will see you tomorrow. And apart from that, enjoy yourselves and have a great night. Catch you later, everybody. Bye!